Hey yo, what is going on with you today, my fellow degenerates? And just for the record, I am, as one would say, tired as hell. But that doesn't matter because we got another horrendous Edo anime to look at today. And yes, I mean horrendous, as in Henseki horrendous, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But yes, to make a long story short, I am finally reviewing Kutsujoku. Yes, after months of hinting at it, I am finally mentally prepared to take another glance at it because I already watched it. It was one of the Edo anime that I already watched like a very long time ago, like 4 years ago. Anyway, that's besides the point. Take another glance at it and tell you my thoughts on it. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Phew. Okay. So for those who don't know, Kutsujoku is a mind break fetish Edo anime that centers around the paraphilic desires of a high school student. The fuck's his name? Anyway, of our MC, who has special powers that can theoretically make any person bend to him against their will. Yes, I know you are kinda getting flashbacks to Rido Healer right now. Or Rido Healer right now. But yeah, as you may have assumed, instead of using these powers to do something that impacts the world in a positive connotation, he does the exact opposite, and goes on a downward spiral of forcing many of his female classmates to do many things for him that I just cannot describe to you at the moment, because, you know, YouTube age restriction. Well, yes. Partially, like I said, because I don't want this video to get taken down. But yes. And these very paraphilic and heinous actions even extend as far as him getting his own blood-related sister involved in the stated course of events. And the worst part of it all is that no one ever stops him. Not one person. And what's even worse than that is that's where the synopsis ends. Yes, pretty fucked up Edo anime, I know. But after watching it for a third time, I have a lot of things to say about it. So cutting the BS, let's get into the review. So, where do we start? Oh my god, I haven't really processed how evidently fucked this Edo anime is until now. But besides that, I think one point that I would like to bring up first is that of this Edo anime being a very odd one of its bunch that were released in 2016. And the reason that I say that is because of how left it goes compared to the typical chronological demographic of Edo anime that were released at the time, in which it either had to do with an ugly bastard with a spirit scene, or some type of deadbeat MILF or odd sister that becomes infatuated with her teenage male relative or something like that. As you can see, those two types of scenarios in Edo anime have actually kept their stature for a long time now. But anyway, moving on. But yeah, like when I say this, I mean that this one really went against the current, as it had some real plot to entice the viewers with, which I will definitely be applauding it for, since as y'all know, I really do like it when Edo anime and anime do step outside the boundaries of what the current norm or trend is. Fuck Jujutsu Kaisen. As a side note. Anyway. And I will also, of course, applaud it for little bonuses that it gives off. Such as, for one, it being animated by the studio that can make anyone come on, regardless of the premise of what is actually being viewed. Studio Bunny Walker. Yes, sir. Though in the long run, in an overall grand scheme of things, I just really didn't enjoy this as much as others did. Yes, I'm pretty sure most of you saw this coming. But in all seriousness, no, it's not solely for the fact that the entire show is just riddled with scenes and mind breaks. It's literally for the fact that the whole aspect and grasp of the show just ended up leaving a sour taste in my mouth. No pun intended. And I know people are gonna try and be like the average English teacher and say, "Oh, I don't know what the hell this man is talking about. When creators do stuff like this, it's rebellious and revolutionary to the current flow of Edo anime, and that in itself alone is what makes it so good." Which, to that I have two things to say. One, if this wasn't an Edo anime and was just classified as a regular anime, like Rido Healer for example, would you say the same thing? And two, If it wasn't animated by Studio Bunnywalker and didn't include the library scene, which is by the way the best scene in the entire show and you cannot tell me otherwise, then would you say the same thing? Because honestly, when people say things like that, especially in a conversation that's based on a standpoint of an anime, in the end they are just memeing. Once again, for the 1000th time, like Overflow for example. And the only thing that I have left to say is the exact same thing that I said for the creator of Henseki and the Metamorphosis video. And that is, if this is what you were going for, you know, with the mind breaks and stuff like that, then yeah, this is a GG. You smashed it 10 out of 10. But I personally can't praise an Edo anime that not only glorifies one of the worst humanity crimes that one could commit, which in my opinion is even worse than murder, but also just has no turn on aspects for the viewers besides a little nutworthy animation and that library scene. But anyway, and to answer the question that I have asked in the title, I think that it's a yes and no at the same time. Yes for its morals and no for it actually being pretty watchable, unlike Henseki. As for the author of Henseki, literally wanted the viewers to feel what she was going through, and that is what made it so horrendous. Like it was like IMAX on paper. But yes, with that, I will obviously be giving this Edo anime a fail, as similarly to Metamorphosis and maybe even School Days, it was made and decorated with aspects that would only turn off viewers and make the worst of a bad situation. And to put the sour cherry on top, it was fabricated with beautiful animation from what is arguably one of the best Edo animation studios that are out right now. Phew, that was a mouthful. But yes, comment down below your thoughts about Kutsujoku and where you think it would personally stand on the Ecchi review scale. Because as you can see, I had a lot to say about it. And this was a really interesting one, and I really want to know what you guys think about it. But yeah, and also, speaking of Kutsujoku, if you want to watch it for some odd reason, then it is available on your friendly neighborhood anime.tv. Yes, sir. But, yeah, besides that, I still don't know what you want, but besides that, make sure you like and subscribe, and with that, I'll see you later.